You are listening to GameBreak, brought to you by HNE.
This video is sponsored by Second Life is an open-world simulator. There is little else to describe it at its core. Once a player rents land from Linden Lab or a reseller, it's up to them to create content upon it. The land can cost as much monthly as renting an apartment in a small town. Since its creation over a decade ago, Second Life has evolved from being a location to experience virtual reality to a full-blown game in some aspects. As the years have gone by, players have become increasingly more creative. Linden Lab makes periodic updates to the capabilities of the game to provide its creators an opportunity to expand further upon their creations in ways previously unimagined. Second Life has been an online classroom and laboratory to many educational institutions, including Ohio University. Nonprofit organizations, including the American Cancer Society and the Entertainment Consumers Association, have held land and ran events in Second Life. It has also housed official virtual stores for companies such as Levi. However, there are not very many entities that are making any real profit from the commercialization of the game. One of the largest player communities on Second Life is based around the science fiction genre. Years ago, there used to be a multi-land project to replicate a full-scale Starship Enterprise from the original Star Trek television series. Due to a lack of funding, the project was scrapped, but the work that was completed was rather impressive. Within the last few years, a number of role-playing groups have been created that feature weaponry and the ability to take damage. The problem was that they were creating items based upon copyrighted material. Beginning in 2010, Linden Lab began cracking down on those using copyrighted material that was not their own. Both CBS, Paramount, and NBC Universal filed copyright complaints against Linden Lab over the content on Second Life. The complaints from CBS, the owners of Star Trek, and NBC, the owners of Battlestar Galactica, gave Linden Lab a reason to remove materials on Second Life that violated any of the company's copyrights. After months of negotiation between the companies and Anthony Haslage of the International Federation of Trekkers, the official Gene Roddenberry fan club, it was agreed that CBS and NBC would no longer pursue copyright complaints unless they find materials based upon their copyrights were being sold. The science fiction community never fully recovered. Second Life is not the prettiest game on the internet. That is only because the quality of the creations in the virtual world is typically not made by professionals. While there are some items of notable beauty, such as those created by Linden Lab, most are created by the players. For most of them, Second Life is a hobby. There's no real sound in the game, however, the use of one's voice almost always sounds clear, as exemplified by this review. Second Life suffers from the limitations that are generally associated with its core systems and the speed of the internet. Much of the publicly accessible land in Second Life is a patchwork of different lands connected together. While some land have been advertised to hold 100 players, that may only be true in cases where there are no connecting lands and nothing has been built. Everything viewed in the game increases bandwidth usage because it must be downloaded. It is recommended to run the minimal graphic settings to avoid the worst of the download lag. Sometime in 2015, it is expected that Second Life will become accessible via virtual reality devices. Second Life enables users to fly over most of the lands. It will be interesting to see how long it will take for vertigo to set in for some users. Otherwise, anyone interested in Second Life may be interested in creating their own entertainment.
To read more in relation to what was covered in this segment, previews, reviews and other game-related articles, log on to www.haslage.net.